all away, like baggage and brought to the West. We are the slave descendants from the African race, the African race, the African race. We are the slave descendants from the African race. We're proud, it's no disgrace. We're proud, it's African race. We're proud, it's no disgrace.
Brotherhood to me is being your brother's keeper. Um, certain things when things get tough, you can help them out, you can lend them a hand, and if you see that they're weak, you be strong for them. And to me, that's what brotherhood means to me.
You want to take that, Daniel?
Yeah. I say you gotta be there for each other. You can't just turn down a person. You can't turn down your friend. You can't turn down nobody. If that person need a hand, give it to them. Why not?
Daniel, there's a lot of murders that's going on. I know that you all hear that there's so many murders right here in New Orleans, but in every city, every day, we're losing young black males. What could you say? Something you said to me, you said, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to put that gun in your head and take your life. Tell us what you feel about that when you hear on the news every night in the newspaper that somebody just lost their life to murder on the street.
I say sometimes you don't have to kill no person, no human being for nothing. You could talk it out, you could work it out. You must have to fight nobody. Just you can walk away. Sometimes you look at it, you crack a joke, laugh, and leave it there. And sometimes you just gotta look at it different. You can't always turn negative, and you have to look at it different.
Why is looking at somebody too long in this day and time disrespectful? You want to take that, Avery?
A lot of people have the gangster mentality, like they're so used to something a certain way, so they don't seem to find their self. And like if I look at you for a long time, I'm assuming something else. I'm assuming that you're ugly. I'm assuming that you're fat, something like that.
Without even really, because you may be admiring a person by looking at them, and they think that you're thinking something wrong.
Like I might be admiring your earrings or something like that, but they don't understand it.
Mm-hmm. And so, do you find that's something that young people always look at? Now you're disrespecting me. You looked at me too long.
Yes,
why
ma'am.
you're looking at me like that?
Yes, ma'am. Like I like did it, and people like I'm like, man, I ain't mean it like that. I'm like, I'm looking at your glasses, like your glasses are nice. I'm looking at your shoes are nice.
Without meaning any harm to anybody.
Without meaning any harm at all.
Wow. You know, we was talking about something last night, and we was talking about sexual transmitted diseases in the community. How many youth, just your own opinion, how many youth sit down every day talking about the sexual transmitted diseases in the community? Anybody know what the average, from a scale from 1 to 10, how many young people are walking around with AIDS and HIV? Is that a concern with your peers?
No.
No? No? Why?
Because nowadays, knowing that I'm a young man and I hear other young men talk, they always talking about having sex and this and that, and the girls too. And you never hear them talk about, oh, okay, let me have safe sex so I won't catch AIDS or HIV. And I feel like that's important because that's one effect in our population now. Like with the African American population, getting HIV, AIDS tests, and things like that. So not really.
Because that's a real issue. Very much real. Teen pregnancy. We talked about that last night. Do you all sit within yourself, or is it a topic in the community, within your peers? What happens when you bring a child into the world as a teen?
Things get tough.
And so
if you're not prepared.
do you think that teens are prepared to have a child?
No.
Daniel?
No, I don't think so. They don't understand. They just jump doing what people they just do.
But when you bring a child into the world in poverty, and this child, we did this formula last night, and we sort of purchased a case of milk, by example, the milk is like $240. and you have to buy a case of milk and then some milk that's left over. The cans of milk is like $5 a can. When you calculate the $245 a month for milk, times 12, did you stop and think about that? Pampers, clothes.
Most of the time, they don't. They just,
Should it be something that young men, okay, why is it only the responsibility of the young woman and her family, and it's not the responsibility of the young man who go out here and father a child without taking care of that child? Is it a shared responsibility, or is it just the girl's responsibility?
it's both.
It's both.
It's both? Okay, why do you think it's both? And why do you think people are not taking that responsibility?
Because they have something, it's something doing in, they have some, it's really something going on in the home. What happened before they, had the child, something going on with the mother or the father, he going a separate way, and that cause confusion.
Now, I'm gonna tell you this, okay, Bernard?
Sometimes when they do it, mainly that man or the male is just trying to do it right then and there, and sometimes a baby or getting a girl pregnant pops up, and then he
No,
actually
the
don't
baby
want
don't pop up,
it. You know,
it's
like,
an act. Mhm.
yeah, but sometimes their intention might not be to make that girl pregnant or get that girl pregnant and have a baby, and it might happen without them being cautious, and then sometimes they might not want to have a baby by that girl, and they just leave the girl and the baby, and they just go.
Okay, let's stop and think for a moment. Every action has a reaction, and every reaction has an action. Now, if you stop and think, what comes out of sex? Unprotected sex in all areas. Babies and possible sexual transmitted diseases. What else can happen? So should there be something that you should think about, stop and think for a moment. Because when you bring a child into the world, that's a lifetime commitment. A lifetime commitment. You can't go shopping when you want to go shopping. You can't buy yourself the boots that you want. You can't hang out with your friends all day long because you have a child in this world. It's just not the girls or the young lady's future that you're ruining. You also are ruining a child's future. Can you physically and mentally take care of a child? You're on your way to college.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you was to get a girl pregnant, how would that affect your education?
It would affect that a lot. I graduate from high school, but I wouldn't go to college. My mom, she'll tell me not to go to college, go get a job. And probably the job would be making minimum wage, and minimum wage you probably make less than, 4 figures or 5 figures a year. So you're trying to support yourself, but you have a child also, so it'd be kind of tough.
That's right. And these are real issues that we face in our community. So as young men, you're not little boys, you're young men.